Well, I thought today would be a good day to go through some of the lovely messages I've received. My name is Brittany Page, and this is the Page Perspective. You know, one of the benefits of having this platform is hearing from so many people who are passionate about important issues, who want to share their own experiences, not only with me, but with all of you in the comments or in emails and voicemails to the email address and phone number that I give out on every video. Sure, I also hear from the haters too, and we'll mix some of those in there for fun, some spice. But I want to take a moment to go through some of the comments and messages I've received and encourage you all to keep them coming. So let's go ahead and start with a voicemail.
Hello, this message is for Brittany Page. I was watching the episode with you talking about homeless and what Anna and CENK was talking about. Okay, Brittany, you go, girl. You are absolutely right. Here in Houston, we do still have homeless, but we do have apartments for them to be able to go to, and that's one of the great things about Houston, because I had one of my best friends stay in one of those apartments, and now they're on Section 8 housing, staying in a regular apartment, and he is happy, he's sane, he just fell on bad luck. But, yeah, he's doing great. But the episodes that you did, you go, girl, you go, girl, you go, 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 girl, you got it going on, you got it going on, you go, Brittany, you go, Brittany, you go, Brittany.
Oh,
go, girl.
So that is maybe the best thing I've ever heard. My first order of business after I'm done here is to figure out how to make that my new ringtone so that anytime I get a phone call or a text message, I get to hear the best pep talk of my life. What a gift. Thank you for that call. Thank you for spreading joy. And yes, Houston is a great example of how Housing First can be used to reduce homelessness. I've done several videos now about homelessness, and I often talk about Housing First. I actually just saw some new reporting from CBS on Houston and their success in tackling the issue. Quote, in 2012, the city went all in on a concept called Housing First. Since then, homelessness is down 63% in the greater Houston area, and more than 30,000 people have been housed. Just remarkable. So yes, cities should look to Houston as a guide and a model for what is possible when you focus not on criminalizing homelessness, but when you focus on the solution to homelessness, which is housing. So thank you again to the caller who did not leave their name, but who I love and appreciate. Thank you so much for that. Next up is a comment from Rogue Botanist, which is a great screen name. And Rogue Botanist says, quote, love your channel, but I have to say there is no such thing as luck. You made your breaks. Respectfully, Rogue Botanist, I disagree. We're going to disagree on this. If you watch my videos, you'll see that I talk about luck a lot, mostly when people hear about my backstory and ask how I got out. And I'm not going to get into all of that right now, but I've done videos on it and other interviews, and you can check those out in the links in the description below. Now, I have a friend who believes everything is 100% luck. And let's say you break down your successes in life into some percentage that is luck and some percentage that is, say, making your breaks or your hard work. My friend would say even your ability to work hard is luck. And I don't know that I'm there yet, but I can't take what I've seen in my lifetime and say to myself that I have achieved what I have achieved because I worked hard, while other people who weren't able to achieve just didn't work hard enough or make their own breaks. I mean, how many people work harder than me and still find themselves stuck in a life that they wouldn't choose for themselves? This thought animates a lot of what I do here. There's so much that is out of our control, from our outward physical appearance and how society values that and rewards it or doesn't, whether we are able-bodied, whether we happen to meet people who enter our lives and help us along the way or hurt us and hold us back, whether we have generational wealth or a parent to call for help when things go wrong, whether good luck or bad luck, I cannot deny luck, and I won't, because I think it's insulting to people who work hard every day, who try to make their breaks, as you say, rogue botanist, and who still find themselves in a hole. And this is why I talk about policy, about people we choose to elect and put into positions of power to shape policy. We can create a society that evens the playing field. So those people who are handed bad luck are better protected and have a better opportunity, as you say, to make their breaks. And I could go down the line of policies that help me get to where I am: food stamps, Pell Grants, Medicaid, helping a poor kid with no resources to get a leg up and move up in the world. And I want that for everyone. So for those of you who believe in that percentage divide between luck and hard work, who would say luck is at 0%, I guess I'm hoping over time that I can work on increasing that. I think it makes us more humble, more compassionate, to recognize the ways that we were aided that have nothing to do with our choices and our abilities, to recognize that we are all connected and we can make more luck for those people around us by becoming people who help, who support policies that help, who elect people who will implement policies that help. So thank you, Rogue Botanist, for your comment and for watching. I appreciate it. Next up, we have a comment on my recent video on Megyn Kelly and her vile and shallow analysis of the campus protests for Palestine. Megyn Kelly chose to attack the protesters as unattractive and homely. And Fab Video 592 has a thought, quote, "Just like most women that advocate for abortion are the least likely to get anyone to get them pregnant, Megyn isn't lying." Now, this continues to be a common tactic that we see: go after someone's appearance to avoid dealing with the actual arguments or policy positions. But listen up, because this is actually a great learning opportunity for everyone, including this person. Most women who have abortions are already mothers. Look at this nice visual aid from the New York Times using data from the CDC. Quote, 6 in 10 women who have abortions are already mothers, and half of them have 2 or more children, according to 2019 data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. One of the main reasons people report wanting to have an abortion is so they can be a better parent to the kids they already have, said a professor. A typical abortion patient is already a mother. Enough with this nonsense. The reality is that women seeking abortions have good reasons for doing so, and any petty attempt to minimize those reasons by falsely claiming that only unattractive women who can't find a man want to have the right to an abortion is just embarrassing and wrong. And what are the odds, by the way, that this Fab Video 592 is aware of basic concepts behind pregnancy? Because I recently came across this write-up in The Conversation where scholars described a recent research survey that they created to assess Americans' basic level of understanding of how pregnancy works. And this is important to evaluate because states across the country are moving to restrict abortion access post-Roe, and we often see these polls where Americans give their views on when abortion should be banned, at what number of weeks should abortion be banned. But what happens when most Americans have an opinion on that, on what number of weeks abortion should be restricted, while simultaneously not even understanding how pregnancy is dated or how many weeks are in a trimester? Well, in this nationally representative sample, where respondents were asked questions about how pregnancy is dated and how many weeks are in a trimester, quote, we found that only 1/3 of respondents knew how pregnancy is dated. A majority, approximately 60%, falsely thought that pregnancy is dated from conception or in the weeks since the woman last had sex. Less than 1/4 of the respondents answered both pregnancy knowledge questions correctly. Importantly, we find that those who support 6-week abortion bans are significantly less likely than others to correctly understand the timing of pregnancy. The statistically significant relationship between having low levels of pregnancy timing knowledge and support for a 6-week abortion ban holds in analyses controlling for potentially confounding variables. Perhaps not surprisingly, women in this survey knew more about pregnancy than men. The question about how pregnancies are dated, for example, was answered correctly by 43% of women compared to only 23% of men. As mentioned above, a majority of Americans incorrectly believe pregnancy is dated from conception, but significantly more men than women think this is true. And they go on to note that this is relevant because, oftentimes, the majority of lawmakers voting for these restrictions are men. And I loved this last line, quote, "Overall, our findings raise serious questions about whether Americans without medical training, much like those in our state legislatures, have the necessary knowledge needed to regulate abortion access." Yes, yes, yes. You know, something that's been bothering me lately is I watch a lot of those voter panel segments where some journalist or TV host sits with voters at a round table and asks them where they stand on every political issue that you can think of. And I had the thought while watching one recently, I realized after all of these videos I've watched, I've never once seen someone respond, "You know what? I don't have enough information to have an opinion on that. I need to look into that more. I'm going to have to read about that in depth before I speak about my own position." Something like that. Not even once, not even one time. How is it possible? We need to normalize saying, "I don't know. I need someone to talk to me about this who knows more than me. I need to watch what Brittany has to say about that." So I think I'll wrap there. If you would like an opportunity to be featured in a future comment response video, feel free to mix it up in the comments below. Get to know some folks in the growing community here. You can call and leave me a voicemail, 657-464-7609, or send an email to idoubt@dollamore.com. You can support my work by becoming a channel member for as little as $1.99 a month, which goes a long way toward helping to produce the content you see here, whether it is researching my videos, writing scripts or articles, reading books to interview authors. I'm always looking for your input on who I should talk to or what I should talk about next. So please let me know. As always, take care, and I will see you next time.